The eviction notice trembled in my hands, the bold red letters swimming before my eyes as I sat on the edge of my mother's hospital bed. 3 days. I had 3 days to come up with 2 months' rent plus late fees, or we'd be out on the street. "Bong Su, sweetheart, you look pale," my mother whispered, her frail hand reaching for mine. Even now, weakened by her illness, she worried about me instead of herself. "I'm fine, Yama," I lied, folding the notice and shoving it into my jacket pocket. "The doctor said you're responding well to treatment." She smiled, but we both knew the truth. The medical bills were drowning us. My Omega salary from the convenience store barely covered her medications, let alone rent, food, and the mounting debt from loan sharks who called at all hours. That night, back in our tiny apartment that would soon no longer be ours, I scrolled through job listings on my cracked phone screen. Most positions paid barely above minimum wage. I needed a miracle. Then I saw it. Live-in nanny needed. Salary, 15 million Korean wons per month. Room and board included. Must be patient, resilient, and excellent with children. Previous applicants need not reapply. My breath caught. 15 million won a month? That was more than triple what I made now. It had to be a scam or... I read the warning at the bottom. Note: this position involves caring for triplet alpha children known for their challenging behavior. 7 nannies have resigned in the past year. Only apply if you are committed and thick-skinned. Challenging behavior. I dealt with worse. Loan sharks, hospital bureaucracy, my own crushing anxiety. How bad could 3 kids be? I sent my application before I could second-guess myself. The response came within an hour. An interview was scheduled for the next morning at an address in Gangnam, Seoul's wealthiest district. The taxi driver gave me a pitying look when I asked him to drop me at the park residence. "You're the new nanny candidate? Good luck, kid. You'll need it." I paid him with money I couldn't afford to spend and stood before iron gates that gleamed in the morning sun. The mansion beyond was something from a drama, all glass, marble, and impossible luxury. My worn sneakers felt even more inadequate as I pressed the intercom button. "Name and purpose," a crisp voice demanded. "Kim Bong-soo. I'm here for the nanny interview." The gates swung open silently. I walked up a driveway lined with perfectly manicured hedges, my heart hammering. What was I doing here? I was 23 years old, an Omega with no childcare experience beyond helping at my mother's daycare years ago. The front door opened before I could knock. A stern woman in a housekeeper's uniform looked me up and down, her expression unreadable. "Follow me. Mr. Park is waiting." The interior was even more breathtaking. Vaulted ceilings, artwork that probably cost more than my lifetime earnings, marble floors so polished I could see my reflection. She led me to a study where floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked a garden that seemed to stretch forever. And there, backlit by the morning sun, stood Park Min-jun. My Omega instincts recognized him immediately. Alpha. Powerful. Utterly beautiful in a way that made my chest tight. He was tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit that probably cost more than my rent. Dark hair swept back from a face that could have been carved from stone, sharp jawline, intense eyes that seemed to see right through me, lips pressed in a firm line. But it was the sadness in those eyes that struck me most. A profound loneliness that I recognized because I carried it too. "Mr. Kim Bong-soo," he said, his voice deep and controlled. "Please sit." I lowered myself into a leather chair that probably cost more than my car, if I'd had a car. He remained standing, examining a file that I realized was my application. "Your resume is sparse," he said without preamble. "No formal childcare experience. You work at a convenience store. Your references are a hospital nurse and your previous landlord." His eyes flicked up to mine. "Why should I hire you to care for my children?" I could have lied. Should have, probably. Instead, I met his gaze directly. "Because I need this job, Mr. Park. My mother is sick, I'm drowning in medical debt, and I'm about to be evicted. I won't pretend I'm qualified on paper, but I'm a hard worker, I'm patient, and I don't give up easily. Your ad said 7 nannies quit. I won't be the 8th. Something flickered in his expression. Surprise maybe. Or respect. "My daughters are challenging," he said carefully. "They've driven away every caregiver I've hired. They're intelligent, creative, and they use those gifts to make life difficult for anyone who tries to get close to them." "Why?" I asked before I could stop myself. His jaw tightened. "That's not your concern. Your job would be to feed them, ensure they complete their studies, keep them safe, and maintain order. Can you do that?" "I can try. Trying isn't enough. Then I'll succeed." We stared at each other for a long moment. I refused to look away first, even though his alpha presence was making my Omega instincts scream at me to submit. Finally he nodded. "You start today. Mrs. Han will show you to your quarters." The girls return from school at 3 o'clock. I suggest you prepare yourself. He turned back to the window, dismissing me. I stood, bowing even though he wasn't looking. Mr. Park? I said at the door. Thank you. I won't let you down. He didn't respond, but I thought I saw his shoulders tense slightly. My room was larger than my entire apartment. A suite, really, with a bedroom, bathroom, and small sitting area. Mrs. Han left me to unpack my meager belongings, warning me that the young mistresses would be home soon. At precisely 3 o'clock I heard them. Laughter, high and wild, echoed through the mansion. Then crashes. Shouting. More laughter. I found them in what Mrs. Han had called the playroom, though it looked more like a war zone. Toys scattered everywhere, furniture overturned, and in the center of the chaos, 3 identical girls who couldn't have been more than 7 years old. They were beautiful like their father, dark hair and pigtails, sharp intelligent eyes, mischievous smiles. They stopped when they saw me, 3 pairs of eyes assessing this new threat to their carefully maintained disorder. You're the new nanny, one of them said. Not a question. I'm Bong Su, I said, smiling. And you must be. We don't tell our names to people who won't last the week, another one interrupted. The third giggled. Mrs. Kim cried after 2 days. Mr. Lee made it 5 before he ran away. I'm not Mrs. Kim or Mr. Lee, I said calmly, stepping over a pile of building blocks. And I'm not going anywhere. That's what they all say, the first one said. She picked up a toy car and threw it, not at me but close enough to be a warning. We don't need a nanny. We don't need anyone. Everyone needs someone, I said quietly. That made them pause. I sat down on the floor among the wreckage, crossing my legs. I'm going to be honest with you 3. I'm not a professional nanny. I've never done this before. But I'm here because I need this job badly, and I think maybe you need someone who actually sees you instead of just trying to control you. What do you mean? One of them asked suspiciously. I mean that maybe you act out because you're trying to tell everyone something they're not listening to. The girls exchanged glances, having one of those silent conversations that twins, or in this case triplets, seemed capable of. Finally, the one closest to me spoke. I'm Park Cha, she said. That's Minji and that's Soo Jin. It's nice to meet you properly, I said. Don't think this means we like you, Minji warned. We're still going to test you. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. Soo Jin, the smallest of the 3, tilted her head. You smell different. Like sad flowers. Omega said. They could smell it on me, that undertone of exhaustion and worry I couldn't quite suppress. I've had a rough time lately, I admitted. But I'm here now and I'd really like to get to know you 3. So how about we clean up this room together, and then you can tell me what you'd like for dinner. We usually just eat whatever Mrs. Han makes, Cha said. Well, tonight you get to choose. Anything you want and I'll make it. Anything. Soo Jin's eyes lit up. Within reason. No ice cream for dinner. They giggled at that and I felt a small victory bloom in my chest. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The first week was exhausting. The triplets tested me constantly, hiding my things, accidentally spilling drinks on me, claiming they'd finished homework they hadn't started. But I noticed patterns. Their pranks were never cruel, just attention-seeking. And when I didn't react with anger or tears, they seemed almost disappointed. Why don't you yell at us? Minji asked one evening as I helped them with math homework. Would yelling help you learn fractions better? I asked mildly. The other nannies always yelled. I'm not them. Cha chewed her pencil thoughtfully. Our dad doesn't yell either. He just doesn't say much at all. That hurt to hear. Park Min-jun was rarely home. He left before breakfast and returned after the girls were asleep. I'd seen him only twice since starting, both times briefly in passing. He'd asked if I was managing, I'd said yes, and he'd nodded before disappearing into his study. Your father works very hard, I said carefully. He's always working, Soo Jin said quietly. Ever since Appa died. Appa. The other parent. The husband Park Min-jun had lost 8 years ago. It must be hard, I said softly. Missing someone like that. We don't really remember him, Cha admitted. We were too little. But sometimes Dad looks at our pictures and he gets this look on his face like he's far away. My heart ached for all of them. These girls who'd grown up without one parent and barely saw the other, and the alpha upstairs who was so lost in grief he couldn't see his daughters needed him. Tell me about what you do remember, I said. The good things. And slowly, haltingly they did. Stories of their fathers, both of them, from photographs and half-memories. Of birthday parties before their appa got sick. Of laughter and warmth that had slowly faded from the mansion. That night, after they were asleep, I found myself in the kitchen making tea I couldn't sleep without. And there, surprisingly, was Park Min-jun. He'd loosened his tie, sleeves rolled up, looking more human than I'd ever seen him. He startled when he saw me. "I'm sorry, I didn't realize anyone was up," I said. "It's your kitchen too now," he said stiffly. "Were the girls difficult today?" "They were perfect today," I said honestly. "We made pizza from scratch and they told me about their appa." His entire body went rigid. "I don't pay you to discuss my late husband with my children. You pay me to take care of them," I said, meeting his eyes. "And part of that is listening when they need to talk about the parent they lost." "You overstep." "Maybe. But those girls are lonely, Mr. Park. They act out because they're trying to get someone, anyone, to really see them. And you presume to know my daughters after 1 week? I presume to pay attention to them, which is more than you've done." The words were out before I could stop them. Stupid, reckless, Omega challenging an alpha in his own home. I waited for him to fire me on the spot. Instead, something crumbled in his expression. He turned away, gripping the counter. "You're right," he said hoarsely. "You're absolutely right, and I don't know how to fix it." The admission shocked me. This powerful, controlled alpha showing vulnerability. "Talk to them," I said gently. "Not about homework or schedules. Really talk to them. They miss you, Mr. Park." "Min Jun," he said quietly. "When it's just us, call me Min Jun." "Bong Su," I offered in return. He nodded, still not looking at me. "Thank you. For caring about them. It's easy to care about them. They're wonderful kids beneath all those defense mechanisms." He finally turned, and the look in his eyes made my breath catch. Pain, yes, but something else too. Something that made my Omega instincts flutter with an emotion I had no business feeling. "Good night, Bong Su," he said softly. "Good night, Min Jun." Things shifted after that night. Min Jun started coming home earlier, joining us for dinner twice a week, then 3 times. The girls were shocked at first, then cautiously delighted. They showed him their schoolwork, told him about their days, and slowly, so slowly, the distance between them began to close. And I watched it happen with growing warmth in my chest, even as I tried to ignore the way my heart raced when Min Jun smiled. A real smile, rare and breathtaking, or the way his hand would brush mine accidentally and linger just a moment too long. Bong Su watched this. Icha called one Saturday afternoon in the garden. She'd finally mastered the cartwheel I'd been teaching them. I applauded and she beamed. Min Ji and Su Jin immediately demanded their turns, showing off with the enthusiasm of children finally allowed to be children. "They're different," Min Jun's voice came from behind me. He'd appeared silently, watching from the patio. "Happier. They were always capable of happiness," I said. "They just needed permission to feel it." He moved closer, standing beside me. We watched the triplets play, their laughter filling the garden. "I was drowning," he admitted quietly. "After Tae-young died, I threw myself into work because if I stopped, I'd have to feel how much it hurt. And the girls, they reminded me so much of him." His smile, his laugh. "I couldn't bear it. So you distanced yourself." "So I failed them." His voice cracked. "I failed them, and you came here and fixed what I broke in a matter of weeks." "I didn't fix anything," I said firmly. "You did. You made the choice to be present. That's what mattered." He turned to look at me then, and the intensity in his gaze made me flush. "You're remarkable, Kim Bong-su. Do you know that?" My Omega instinct screamed at me to look away, to submit, but I held his stare. "I'm just doing my job." "It's more than a job to you. I see how you look at them. Like they're yours." Were they? Somewhere along the way, I'd stopped thinking of this as employment and started thinking of them as my family. The realization terrified me. "I care about them," I admitted. "More than I probably should." "And what about me?" The question was so quiet I almost missed it. "Do you care about me too?" My heart stopped. This couldn't be happening. He was my employer, an alpha so far above me in every way. But the hope in his eyes, the vulnerability. "Yes," I whispered. "I do." He reached out slowly, giving me every chance to pull away, and cupped my face in his hand. His touch was warm, gentle, reverent. "I haven't felt this way since Tae-young," he breathed. "I thought I was dead inside, but you, Bong-su, you make me want to live again." "Min Jun." "Don't," he said. "Don't tell me why this is impossible. I know all the reasons. I need you to know how I feel." Before I could respond, Su Jin's voice rang out. "Dad. Bong-su. Come play with us." The moment shattered. Min Jun dropped his hand, stepping back, and we joined the girls. But something had changed between us, an acknowledgement of feelings we couldn't quite act on. Not yet. December arrived with the first snow, and the mansion transformed into a winter wonderland. The girls were excited about Christmas, talking nonstop about decorations and presents and whether Bong Su would spend the holiday with them. "Of course I will," I assured them, though I'd planned to visit my mother at the hospital. She'd been moved to a better facility, thanks to my new salary, and her prognosis was improving. We'll celebrate together. All of us. Cha asked meaningfully, glancing at her father. Min-jun had been having dinner with us every night now, helping with homework, reading bedtime stories. The change in him was remarkable. The ice prince was melting, revealing the warm, caring father beneath. All of us, he confirmed, and the girls cheered. That evening, after they were asleep, I found myself in the study with Min-jun. He'd asked me to join him for tea, a nightly ritual we'd developed. We'd talk about the girls, about everything and nothing, dancing around the attraction that grew stronger every day. They asked me today why you don't have a room closer to theirs, Min-jun said, pouring tea. Soo-jin said you should have the suite next to mine. That's the master guest suite, I said. I'm fine where I am. Are you? He set down the teapot and looked at me. Fine, I mean. Happy here? Happier than I've been in years, I admitted. The girls are thriving, my mother's getting better, and I feel like I belong here. You do belong here. He moved closer. Bong-soo, we need to talk about this. About us. There is no us, I said, but the words sounded hollow even to me. You're my employer. I'm your children's nanny. That's all this can be. That's all this should be, he corrected. But it's not. I think about you constantly. The way you laugh with the girls, your kindness, your strength. You've become essential to this household, to me, and I can't keep pretending I don't feel this way. Min-jun. My resistance was crumbling. What are you saying? I'm saying I'm falling in love with you. The confession hung between us, raw and honest. I know it's complicated. I know there are 100 reasons why this is a terrible idea. But I haven't felt alive in 8 years, and then you walked into my life and reminded me what it means to hope. Tears pricked my eyes. I'm just an omega. I have nothing to offer someone like you. You have everything. He took my hands in his, and the touch sent electricity through me. You have a heart big enough to love 3 broken children and their disaster of a father. You have strength I can only dream of. You're beautiful inside and out, and if you'll let me, I want to spend every day proving that you're worthy of everything good in this world. I'm scared, I whispered. So am I. He smiled softly. But maybe we can be scared together. He leaned in slowly, giving me every chance to pull away. But I didn't want to. Not anymore. Our lips met in a kiss that was gentle, questioning, and then deeper as I melted into him. His arms came around me, holding me like I was precious, and I felt safe for the first time in forever. When we finally broke apart, both breathless, he rested his forehead against mine. Stay, he murmured. Not as an employee. As family. As mine if you'll have me. The girls adore you. They've been not so subtly hinting that you should be their new appa for weeks now. I laughed wetly. Have they? Constantly. Soo-jin asked me yesterday if I'd considered marrying you. She's 7. She's perceptive. He kissed me again, soft and sweet. What do you say, Kim Bong-soo? Will you take a chance on us? I thought about my tiny apartment, the eviction notice, the desperation that had brought me here. And I thought about 3 little girls who'd stolen my heart, and the alpha who'd shown me that love wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Yes, I whispered. Yes to all of it. The girls found out 3 days later, not because we told them but because Cha walked in on Min-jun kissing me in the kitchen. She gasped, then screamed with delight, bringing her sisters running. I told you. Soo-jin crowed. I told you Dad liked Bong-soo. Does this mean Bong-soo is staying forever? Min-ji asked hopefully. Min-jun and I exchanged glances and he nodded, giving me permission to answer. Yes, I said. If you'll have me, I'd like to stay forever. They mobbed me with hugs, all talking at once about how perfect this was and how they'd known all along and could they call me Appa now. Maybe we should slow down a little, I laughed but my heart was so full it might burst. Absolutely not, Cha declared. We've waited long enough for a proper family. That evening Min-jun invited me to his private suite. My hands shook as I followed him through the door, knowing what this meant, what we were about to do. His room was elegant but lived in. Books scattered on the nightstand, a photo of Tae-young and the girls on the dresser. He caught me looking. I'll always love him, he said quietly. Is that okay? Of course it is, I said. He was your husband, their father. He'll always be part of this family. And you're part of it now too. He cupped my face, kissing me deeply. Let me show you. Min-jun undressed me slowly, reverently, his hands trembling slightly as he revealed my skin. I'd never felt so vulnerable, so exposed, but the way he looked at me, like I was something precious, made me feel beautiful. You're perfect, he murmured against my throat, and I shivered as his alpha pheromones wrapped around me, calling to my omega nature. So perfect, Bong-soo. He laid me on the bed, covering my body with his, and the weight of him felt right. Say, like coming home after years of being lost. I've never. I started and his eyes softened. Never? I shook my head. I've been too busy surviving to live. You're my first. My only if you'll have me. Oh, sweetheart. He kissed me tenderly. I'll have you every day for the rest of our lives if you'll let me. He prepared me carefully, fingers slick and patient as I adjusted to the intrusion. It burned at first, uncomfortable, but his whispered praise and gentle touches eased me through it. That's it, he breathed. You're doing so well, Omega. So beautiful like this. The praise made me whimper, my body responding to his alpha commands. When he finally pressed inside me, joining us completely, I gasped at the fullness, the rightness of it. Okay? He asked, stilling above me. More than okay. I pulled him down for a kiss. Move. Please. He did, slow and deep, each thrust deliberate. This wasn't just sex, it was a claiming, a promise. His knot began to swell and I felt my Omega body respond, preparing to take it. Going to knot you, he panted. Mark you as mine. Is that what you want? Yes, I sobbed, overwhelmed by sensation. Yes, Alpha. Please. His teeth found my neck, biting down on my scent gland as his knot locked us together. The pain and pleasure exploded through me, triggering my orgasm, and I cried out his name as my body shook apart. He held me through it, still locked inside me, whispering love and praise as I came down from the high. Mine, he breathed against my neck. My Omega. My Bong Su. Yours, I agreed, tears streaming down my face. Always yours. We stayed locked together for nearly an hour, talking softly, touching gently, learning each other's bodies and hearts. When his knot finally released, he cleaned me carefully and held me close. I love you, he said simply. I know it's fast, but I'm certain. I love you, Kim Bong Su. I love you too, I whispered. Park Min-jun, I love you too. Christmas morning dawned bright and cold. I woke in Min-jun's arms, sore and satisfied, and smiled at the ceiling. How had my life changed so completely in just 2 months? What are you thinking? He murmured, still half asleep. That I'm the luckiest Omega alive. I'm the lucky one. He kissed my temple. Come on. 3 girls are probably destroying the living room waiting for us. He was right. We found them surrounded by presents, barely containing their excitement. But they waited until we were settled on the couch before tearing into packages. Laughter filled the room as they opened gifts, toys and books and clothes, all chosen with care. But then Ai-cha handed me a small wrapped box. This is from all of us, she said shyly. Me, Minji, Sujin, and Dad. Inside was a simple silver necklace with 4 charms, 3 small ones shaped like stars, and 1 larger one shaped like a moon. The stars are us, Sujin explained. And the moon is you because you shine on us and keep us safe. I couldn't speak through my tears. Min-jun squeezed my hand. We have one more gift, he said, pulling out a folder. I had my lawyer draw up adoption papers. If you're willing, I'd like to make this official. Not just you as my husband, though we'll do that too, but you as their legal parent. So you're not just the nanny who stayed. You're their appa and they're yours. The girls held their breath, waiting for my answer. Yes, I managed through sobs. Yes to all of it. They dogpiled me with hugs, and Min-jun wrapped his arms around all of us, and I thought about the eviction notice that had brought me here. About desperation and debt and fear. And about how all of it had led me to this moment, to this family, to this love. Merry Christmas, Appa Bong Su, the girls chorused. Merry Christmas, my stars, I said. Merry Christmas, my moon. And as snow fell outside the windows of our home, I knew I'd finally found where I belonged. Not just surviving anymore. Thriving. Home. I stand at the window of our bedroom, watching the sun set over the garden where the triplets are playing with Mrs. Han's grandson. Their laughter drifts up through the glass, making me smile. 6 months of marriage and I still can't believe this is my life. Strong arms wrap around my waist from behind, and I immediately relax into Min-jun's embrace. I know his touch anywhere, the way his hands span my waist, the warmth of his chest against my back, the cedar and rain scent that means alpha, home, safe to my Omega instincts. What are you thinking about, sweetheart? His voice rumbles against my spine, and I shiver despite the warmth of the room. Just how different everything is now, I admit, covering his hands with mine. A year and a half ago I was about to be evicted. I was terrified, alone, desperate. And now. He nuzzles into my neck, right over my bonding mark, and the touch sends electricity through my entire body. Now I have everything I never knew I could want. I turn in his arms to face him, and my breath catches like it always does when I really look at him. Park Min-jun is devastatingly beautiful. Sharp features softened by the love in his eyes when he looks at me, dark hair falling across his forehead, lips curved in that small smile he reserves only for me and the girls. He's wearing one of his work shirts with the sleeves rolled up, tie loosened, and he's never looked more perfect. You have me, he murmurs, cupping my face with both hands. For as long as you'll have me, Bong-su. Forever if you'll let me. Forever sounds perfect, I whisper, and then his lips are on mine. I've kissed him hundreds of times by now, but it never loses its magic. His mouth is soft and demanding at once, tasting of the coffee he had after dinner and something uniquely him. My hands fist in his shirt, pulling him closer, needing more contact, more of him. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. His eyes have darkened, pupils blown wide, and I can smell his scent intensifying, that alpha pheromone that makes my knees weak and my body respond instantly. The girls are occupied for at least another hour, Min-jun says, his voice dropping to that low register that makes me tremble. Mrs. Han knows not to let them come upstairs. We have time, Omega. Time for me to love you properly. My body is already responding, slick beginning to gather between my thighs. Even after 6 months of being mated, my Omega nature reacts to his alpha voice like I'm still courting him. Maybe I always will. Yes, I breathe because I never can deny him. Never want to. Please, Alpha. He lifts me effortlessly, something that still surprises me even though he's done it countless times. I'm not small, but he handles me like I weigh nothing, carrying me to our bed and laying me down like I'm something precious. The bed dips as he kneels over me and I look up at him, my heart so full it might burst. This Alpha, this beautiful, damaged man who'd been drowning in grief, chose me. Loves me. Wants me. What's that look? He asks softly, brushing hair back from my forehead. Just loving you, I admit. Is that allowed? It's required, he says, smiling that rare, full smile that makes him look years younger. Because I love you more than I thought possible. More than I knew I could love again. He leans down to kiss me again, slower this time, savoring. His hands find the hem of my shirt, one of his old university shirts that I've claimed as my own, and he pulls it up slowly, breaking the kiss only long enough to pull it over my head. The cool air hits my skin and I shiver, but his hands are immediately there, warming me, touching me. His palms slide up my sides, thumbs brushing over my nipples, and I arch into the touch with a gasp. Sensitive tonight, Min-jun observes, his voice full of satisfaction. He dips his head to take one nipple into his mouth and I cry out, my hands flying to his hair. Always sensitive for you, I manage, tugging at his hair. Min-jun, please. Please what, Omega? He releases my nipple with a soft pop, looking up at me with dark eyes. Tell me what you need. You, I whimper, and I can hear how desperate I sound, how needy. But I'm past caring. I need you, Alpha. Need you inside me. Soon, he promises, but his hands are already working my pants open, sliding them down my hips along with my underwear. But first, I want to taste you. Oh God. My whole body flushes hot at the words, remembering the last time he'd done this, how he'd taken me apart with just his mouth and tongue until I was sobbing his name. He settles between my legs and I'm already wet, slick coating my thighs. The evidence of how much I want him is obvious and I should be embarrassed, but the way he looks at me, like I'm a feast laid out just for him, makes me feel powerful instead. So beautiful, he murmurs, spreading my legs wider. So wet for me already, sweetheart. Did you spend all evening thinking about this? About me touching you? Yes, I admit, fisting the sheets. Couldn't stop thinking about it. About you. I kept watching you at dinner and remembering this morning, when you pinned me against the shower wall and made you come so hard you nearly collapsed, he finishes, smirking. I remember. I've been thinking about it too. About you, so perfect and pliant in my arms. Then his mouth is on me and I nearly come off the bed. His tongue slides through my slick, tasting me, and the groan he makes vibrates through my entire body. So sweet, he says against me. My Omega tastes so sweet. I'm incoherent, can only moan and writhe as he works me with his mouth. His tongue finds my rim, pressing inside, and the sensation is overwhelming. I'm producing more slick, my body opening for him, preparing itself for what it knows is coming. Min-jun, I sob, my thighs trembling on either side of his head. Please, I need. What do you need, sweetheart? He pulls back just enough to speak, his breath hot against my sensitive skin. Tell your Alpha what you need. Your fingers, I beg shamelessly. Please, need to feel you inside me. He rewards me immediately, one long finger sliding inside easily thanks to all the slick. I'm so ready for him that there's no resistance, just perfect fullness. He crooks his finger, finding that spot inside me that makes me see stars, and I arch with a cry. That's it, he praises, working his finger slowly. So good for me, Omega. taking me so well. He adds a second finger, stretching me, and I can feel myself opening for him, my body eager and willing. It's always like this with him, my omega nature responding to his alpha presence, making everything easier, better, right? More, I whimper, and I'm not even sure what I'm asking for anymore. More fingers? Is not? Just more of him, always more. He gives me a third finger, and now the stretch burns in the best way. I'm full but not full enough, need more, need all of him. My hand reaches down, finding my own neglected cock, but he catches my wrist with his free hand. No, he says firmly, and the command in his voice makes me whine. You don't touch yourself. I take care of you. Understand? Yes, Alpha, I breathe, submitting to his authority. It should bother me maybe how easily I submit to him. But it doesn't. Because I know he'll take care of me, know he'll make it good, know he loves me too much to ever leave me wanting. He works me with his fingers until I'm mindless with need, until I'm begging incoherently, until slick is running down my thighs and I can barely remember my own name. Only then does he withdraw his fingers, leaving me empty and desperate. Please, I sob, reaching for him. Please, Minjun, I need your knot. Need you to fill me up. Please, Alpha, please. Sure, sweetheart. I've got you. He's stripping off his clothes quickly, and I watch hungrily as he reveals his body, all lean muscle and smooth skin, and the cock that's hard and ready for me. He's beautiful. My Alpha is so beautiful it makes my chest ache. He moves over me, covering my body with his, and the skin-to-skin contact makes me whimper. I can feel his cock against my thigh, hot and hard, and I spread my legs wider in invitation. Are you ready for me? He asks, positioning himself at my entrance. The head of his cock presses against my rim, and I'm so empty I could cry. Yes, I gasp, wrapping my legs around his waist. Please, Alpha, play me. Make me yours again. He pushes forward slowly, and despite all the preparation, the stretch is intense. He's big, bigger than his fingers, bigger than any toy we've used. I gasp, my hands flying to his shoulders, nails digging in. Breathe, he soothes, holding still even though I can see the strain in his face, the effort it takes not to just thrust forward and take what he wants. Breathe for me, Omega. Relax and let me in. I focus on breathing, on relaxing, on the scent of him surrounding me. Cedar and rain and Alpha in mine. Gradually, my body accepts him, the burn fading into pleasure, into rightness. More, I breathe, and he pushes deeper, inch by careful inch, until finally he's fully seated inside me. We both groan at the feeling. I'm so full, stretched around him, and it's perfect. He's perfect. This is perfect. Okay? He asks, his forehead pressed to mine, his breathing ragged. So okay, I assure him, pulling him down for a kiss. So perfect, Alpha. You feel so perfect inside me. He starts to move, slow and deep, and I think I might die from how good it feels. Each thrust hits something inside me that makes pleasure spark through my nerves, building and building with nowhere to go. Love you, he breathes against my lips. Love you so much, Bongsu. My Omega. My husband. Mine. Yours, I agree, clinging to him. Always yours, Minjun. Only yours. The pace increases, his control fracturing, and I love watching him lose himself in me. Love seeing that carefully maintained composure slip, revealing the passionate Alpha underneath. His hips snap forward harder, deeper, each thrust driving the breath from my lungs. Touch yourself, he orders suddenly, changing his earlier command. Want to watch you. Want to see you fall apart on my cock. I reach between us with a shaking hand, wrapping my fingers around my leaking cock. I'm so close already, wound so tight I might snap at any moment. A few strokes, that's all it would take. That's it, Minjun groans, his eyes fixed on where I'm touching myself. So beautiful like this, Omega. So perfect. Taking my cock so well and touching yourself for me. Going to make you come so hard. His knot begins to swell, catching on my rim with each thrust, and my body responds instinctively. More slick, more give, preparing to take it. I can feel it growing, stretching me further with each pass. Alpha, I whimper, my hand moving faster on my cock. You're not, I need, please. Going to give it to you, he promises, his voice strained. Going to lock us together, fill you with my cum until you're dripping with it. Would you like that, sweetheart? Yes. I'm not even embarrassed by how desperate I sound. Please, Alpha, give me your knot. He thrusts forward one more time, and his knot pushes inside, locking us together. The stretch is overwhelming, painful and perfect, and combined with my hand on my cock, it's too much. I come with a cry, my whole body clenching around him, milking his knot. My release spills over my hand onto my stomach, and I'm shaking with the intensity of it. Min Jun groans, his teeth finding my bonding mark, and I feel his cock pulse inside me, flooding me with his release. It's warm and wet, and there's so much of it, making me feel even fuller. Mine? he growls against my neck. My Omega. My Bong Su. Yours, I sob, overwhelmed by sensation and emotion. Always yours, Minjun. I love you. I love you so much. We collapse together, both trembling and spent. His knot keeps us locked together. We'll be like this for at least 30 minutes, maybe more. But I don't mind. I love this part, the forced intimacy, the way we have no choice but to stay connected and close. Minjun rolls us carefully onto our sides, spooning me from behind, still buried deep inside me. His hand comes to rest on my stomach, fingers splaying possessively, and I cover it with my own. I meant what I said at dinner, he murmurs into my hair. About wanting another child. But only if you want it too, Bong Su. I'll never pressure you. My heart swells. We've been talking about it with the girls who'd been begging for a baby brother or sister for months now. And I'd been thinking about it too. About carrying Minjun's child, about giving the triplets a sibling, about our family growing even larger. I want it, I admit softly. I want to carry your baby, Minjun want to give you a child, give the girls a sibling. I want it so much it scares me sometimes. Why does it scare you? His hand strokes soothingly over my stomach. Because I'm scared I'll be a terrible parent, I confess. The girls had you and Taeyong, but I didn't have the best example growing up. What if I mess everything up? Bong Su. He turns my face toward him, his expression fierce. You're already an incredible parent. The girls adore you. You've given them stability, love, attention. Everything they needed that I was too broken to provide. You'll be an amazing parent to our child too. Tears prick my eyes. You really think so? I know so. He kisses me softly. And I'll be right there with you every step of the way. We'll figure it out together like we always do. Together, I agree, smiling through my tears. I like the sound of that. His knot pulses inside me again, releasing another small wave of cum, and I whimper at the sensation. Even after everything, my body still responds to him, still wants more. Greedy Omega, he teases, but his voice is fond. Do you want another round after this? I can probably manage it if you need me to. Maybe, I admit, blushing. Is that okay? Am I too much? You're never too much, he says firmly. You're everything, Bong Su. And I love how responsive you are, how much you want me. It's the sexiest thing in the world, knowing my Omega needs me as much as I need him. I do need you, I whisper. So much it terrifies me sometimes. What if something happens? What if? Nothing's going to happen, he interrupts gently. We're bonded, mated, married. You're stuck with me for life, sweetheart. And I'm never letting you go. The certainty in his voice soothes something deep inside me, that Omega instinct that always worries about abandonment, about not being enough. But Minjun has proven time and time again that he's not going anywhere, that he chose me and keeps choosing me every day. I love you, I say, because sometimes those 3 words are the only ones that matter. I love you more, he replies, pulling me closer. Impossible. Try me. I smile, feeling safe and loved and cherished in my alpha's arms. Outside, I can hear the triplets being called in for their evening routine. Soon we'll have to get up, wash, dress, and go be parents again. But for now, locked together in the most intimate embrace, I let myself simply feel. Feel his heartbeat against my back, his breath in my hair, his love surrounding me like a warm blanket. This is my life now. This alpha, these children, this home. Everything I'd been too afraid to even dream of. And I get to keep it. Forever. Thank you, I whisper into the quiet room. For what? Minjun asks. For choosing me. For loving me. For giving me this family, this life. Everything. Sweetheart. He presses a kiss to my bonding mark, making me shiver. I should be thanking you. You saved us, me and the girls. You brought light back into this house, into our lives. You're the best thing that ever happened to us. We saved each other, I decide. Is that cheesy? Extremely. He agrees, and I can hear the smile in his voice. But I don't care. You can be as cheesy as you want. We lie there together as the sun sets completely, painting the room in shadows. His knot finally releases and we both groan at the sensation. Cum leaks out of me, evidence of our coupling, and Minjun's hand dips between my legs, gathering it and pushing it back inside. Want you to keep it all, he murmurs. Want you full of me always. The possessiveness should probably bother me, but instead it makes me feel warm and wanted and his. I'm his Omega and he's my Alpha, and there's nothing wrong with finding comfort in that bond. Come on, he says eventually, kissing my shoulder. Let's get cleaned up and go see the girls before bedtime. They'll want to say goodnight. Can we do this again later? I ask, feeling bold. After they're asleep? Sweetheart, we can do this as many times as you want, he promises. I'll never get tired of making love to you. Making love. Not just sex, not just nodding. Making love. The distinction matters to me maybe more than it should. We shower together, which turns into more kissing and touching, though we restrain ourselves from going further. Then we dress in comfortable clothes and go to find our daughters. They tackle us immediately, all three talking at once about their evening, showing us things they'd made, demanding attention. And we give it gladly, sitting with them, reading stories, tucking them into bed with kisses and promises of tomorrow. Love you, Apabong Su, Sujin murmurs sleepily as I pull her blanket up. Love you too, sweetheart, I whisper back, my heart full. This is my life. This is my family. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Later, in the darkness of our bedroom, Minjun makes love to me again. Slower this time, tender and sweet, whispering promises against my skin. And when we finally fall asleep, locked together once more, I dream of the future we're building. A future full of love, laughter, and maybe, just maybe, a baby with Minjun's eyes and my smile. Perfect.